Well, the staging score is built to help you document every detail of the staging, the blocking, the choreography in a really detailed way. It's built in the same way that an orchestral score is built, wherein the conductor can see exactly what the tenor saxophone is doing on beat two of the second measure. Just like that, in a staging score, the director or choreographer can see exactly what Juliet is doing on count five. So it's built really in the same manner, wherein you can track each actor's movements at each moment in time. You can enter their dialogue, you can enter the action that happens during that dialogue, and of course, you line up that action with the dialogue so you know exactly what they're doing and when they're doing it. When it counts to music, there's an 8 count, or you can have triplets. The lyrics line up with the counts, and of course, the choreography lines up with those counts as well. So it looks somewhat like this a staff. If I zoom in here, essentially the gray lines are intended to be the speaker, the lines, or the lyrics, which are matched up with the counts below. And then below that is the character's name. The step nickname is the first line, and then each character has 3 lines of detail. This can be customized. It says the main step that they're doing, the active foot, and then as much detail or additional details as you want here. So for example, in this example, count 3, while they're singing the word match, Will's going to move down stage, and on count 3, he steps with his right foot forward. On count 4, steps with his left foot forward, and then 5, and he'll do ball change, right, and then left. During that, his arms move through first position to open high fifth to land on the downstage edge of the stage. So in this manner, you can really detail as much detail as you want to really document your choreography. It's a great idea when you're notating dance and movement to write as if the reader of this knows nothing, so they could pick this document up in 30 years and recreate it. You want to make sure that the music and the counts are matched up in the score, and it's a great idea to use ballet terminology, which has stood the test of time, and really want to match the steps to the count. So if you get the score like this, generally you'll break this up. This is a 4/4 bar. You'll break it up into 2, so you have a count that turns into a count of 8, and you'll break it up as so. So it looks a little bit like this in the staging score. Some terminology ideas: right front, right side, right back. That can give you the active foot sort of shortcut. Now I'm going to jump over to the app and show you a little bit how this works and how you can edit it. So when you log into your production and you go to the staging score part, so you can go to that view by going here, looking at your charts, you want to select score. And just like in the PDF, along here, the left side are the list of scenes that you've created. And if I open that up here, you'll see some of the staging staffs that are here that we'll talk about. Going across the top, you can lock this as well, so you can see it and go through without making edits. So you can lock that or unlock it. You can also add new staffs here. So if I go here, I can choose to add either a dialogue staff, an 8-count staff, a 10-count, or a triplet. Here I'm going to choose a dialogue staff. And let's say, the character Amber, but you can choose as many of the characters as you want or select everyone and hit done. And then below that, where you are, it's going to insert that dialogue staff right there. If I'm selected here in this 8-count here below, if I want to add another 8-count here, similarly, I'll go here, done, and below that has added another 8-count. So you can see here on the left, this is each of the staffs is represented by one of those items here. Now I can also choose to filter performers. Let's say I just want to see only information that applies to Amber. So what it does is it actually only shows me the Amber information. So it allows you to pretty easily go into everybody or show everybody. You can also zoom in. You can make it auto fit your screen, or you can take it to the original size as well. While you're making changes here, any changes you make can be saved by hitting the save button here. And of course, printing, you can choose to print the charts and score. And if you select the scene and you say you want to print the chart notes and print PDF, what it will do is it'll begin creating your PDF, and we'll let you know when it's ready to download. You can see down here it's working on that right now. So now to talk about actually editing the staff itself, Here's an example. Here you see on the front, Tracy above says, Link Larkin, I was just beginning to think you were different. Then Link says, sorry, little darling. So during that, we've got these two actors. Tracy is here and Link is in this scene. So I've got for dialogue just their name and any details that you want to add. To edit this, essentially you're just going to take your cursor and go onto any of the cells below. Now using your arrow key, you can go and select any of these, where you want to start typing. Let's say I'm going to start right here. And now I can either hit the edit button, which will open that up so I can begin typing. And when I'm done, I'll hit either done or I'll hit return. Okay. Now that's that information there. If I want to write more about what she does later when he says, sorry, little darling, I may go here. She runs away. So basically using your arrow keys, you go to any of these lines here. If you're going to add another line, I might go to here and I'm going to hit Tracy, hit return. I open it up here. I hit edit or return. And there's now her next line there. Okay, so that's how you edit. So basically, you place your cursor in any of the cells below. You hit edit or you hit the return key. You start typing and then you hit done. Now, anything that you've edited, anything that you've typed, you can resize so that it fits in the area where it's meant to go. So you can resize. So I could take, let's say, actually, she does this all on the word beginning to think. And I hit done. So then that actually lines up with that detail above. So I might do the very same thing here. So all of this detail goes there, and you see that it expands naturally down that way. That's how you can edit anything in any of the staffs that way. You can choose to close and just show the top line, or you can choose to expand all of them. If I need to add another character, I hit this plus sign here, and I'm going to choose another character from the list. Let's say Penny's there too, and then I can choose to add more details there about Penny. You could also choose if people are talking over each other, or if they're in a song, you can add a second voice here. So you could have a second voice up here, maybe Link is saying something at the exact same time, So those were meant to be right on top of each other. So you can add an additional voice that way. So this allows you to really expand it and make it as detailed as you possibly want it to. Now to edit that, if I want to get rid of the link line, I click that X. I can reorder it. If I want to put link on the bottom line, I can reorder it that way. Or in this case, that doesn't actually happen. So I'm going to hit the X, which will delete that line. Same thing is true here with the characters. Penny's actually not in that scene, so I can choose to reorder them. Like maybe I want Link's information to go first. And in fact, I don't need Penny's information, so I hit the X and then that's done there. So now I'm done editing that. So that's how it works with dialogue. The idea is that time passes as you go along this way. Now, when it comes to music, here's an 8 count. And I can go in here, what default is 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 5 E and a 6, 7 and 8. And I've entered already some of the lyrics here. Tracy sings, "Good morning, Baltimore," right on those counts as well. Similarly, I'm going to go in here and let's say this is not Amber, but let's say this is Tracy. So go in and choose Tracy here. And if I go in here, and here you want to put the sort of overall name of the step. So I'm going to just put moves down stage, just to give you an overview. She's going to, what's the name of the step? She's going to step. She's going to do her right foot forward. And then let's say she's going to do on count, and she's going to do another step. This would be her left foot forward. And then maybe down here I'll put the details. She charges stage and demands to be heard, something like that. You can put details about the choreography or details about direction. Let's say I'm going to resize that so it only goes to count 1, all of that. So then you'll just go in and detail all of that information here. Similarly here, I can add another voice here, or I can delete that voice since I don't need it here. I can also, over here, I can make it a 7 count by the minus sign. Now that's a 7 count, a 6 count. I can also go up to 10 counts or up to 12 counts. So I can add it up to there. So let's say I'm going to keep it an 8 count here. So that's essentially how you're going to edit each count of 8. If I need another character, I can add the other character here, and so on and so forth. What's Velma doing? And then, of course, I can decide to make these larger or smaller. But this gives you the opportunity to detail every single bit of information about the show. Now, one note about this cell right here, I can edit this cell. This information is what shows up over here in my list. And so it's a good idea, especially when you have a big, long section to mark it. So this might be maybe dance break, first 8, and then hit done. And then you'll notice when I do that over here, this changes to dance break, first 8. That way you can really keep track if you're looking here, where does that dance break begin, so you can find it pretty quickly and easily in that way. So that's how you do your editing of your staging score. You can also link your charts on your score together. So say I've got my charts over here, and here's my score. You see here it's unlinked, but if I just simply grab this one, I drag it to red, now chart 2.1 is attached to that one, and chart 2.2 is attached to that one. So that way I can sort of link back and forth between my charts and the score. So to create a template, say you're going to use specific templates. We talked about the dialogue and the 8 count, the 10 count, triplets, same thing. You can create your own if you're going to use something over and over. Just to give you an example, so here's what it looks like. This is the template that exists already, an 8 count. It uses what name are you going to display in the cell. Do you want to show the prefix, count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the default counts, how many counts are in it? 8. Will you allow to add or delete counts? You could say yes or no. How many columns are in each count? How many does the count have column headers? Meaning here, if I go 1 E and it'll say 1 E and then voice rows, how many will you allow me to have? How many members of detail? And then down here, I can change this to, if I don't want to do step, feet, or details, I can add different things. So if I'm going to create a new one from scratch, let's say, let's say we're going to do a new triplet. Okay, let's say we'll do, yes, it'll allow the name. How many default counts? I'm going to say 6 counts. Okay, and I'm going to allow people to add or subtract. How many columns per count? I'm going to say 3 since I'm doing triplets. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. It does have headers. And then I'm going to say, so I'll allow, and this means number 1 is going to be in the first one, and then I determine what goes in 2 and 3. 2, 3. So I'm going to go, it'll go 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, so on and so forth. Let's say default is 1 voice row, and maybe I'm going to do a 4 levels. So we'll say the step name, we'll say the active foot, arms, and details. So now I've got 4 defaults here. So this is my new triplet. So I'm going to save this. So now if I go back to my production here, say we'll go here. Now here's my new template that shows up here. Let's say Amber's going to do that one. So there I've got 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 2, 5, 2, 3, 6, 2, 3. I could keep going 7, 2, 3, 8, 2, 3. That allows me to have triplets on this page, and you see each of my lines have been added here. So you can create your own templates for whatever it is that you want to do, and that way you can have it in there and customize it to whatever it is that you need for your documentation.